Are you stuck, trapped in a world where your results are chained directly to the hours you pour in, where getting more done means having less of a life? Well, we're about to follow the story of a man named Elias who figured out how to absolutely shatter that clock and escape the one equation that traps almost everyone.
So our story kicks off in what we'll call the prison of the average. This is Elias's reality, a place governed by a really simple but totally brutal formula that runs his entire life. The results he gets are just the effort he puts in, multiplied by time. That's it.
And you can just feel the impossibility of a situation, right? I mean, to double his output, he'd literally have to work twice as long. We're talking a 24-hour workday. It's a physical dead end. He's a hamster on a wheel, and that wheel is only getting smaller. But then a crisis hits. And this crisis, it becomes his call to adventure. It shoves him into the one moment where everything, and I mean everything, starts to change. This is the cook versus the chef.
Okay, so the company's costs for verifying legal documents are just skyrocketing. The department head, let's call him Mr. Linear, he gets up and presents his solution. He says, our competitor outsourced to a cheaper firm. We should just do that. It's the industry standard. It sounds so reasonable, so safe, doesn't it? A simple, clear path to a small, predictable little gain. And here's where we see the huge difference. Mr. Linear, he's a cook. He's just copying a recipe from a dusty old book to get a tiny 5% improvement. But Elias decides to be a chef. He's not going to follow a recipe. He's going to invent one from scratch, using this incredibly powerful mental model, first principles thinking.
So Elias, he just closes his eyes and runs what we'll call the deconstruction algorithm. He completely ignores what the competitors are doing, all the noise, all the complexity, all the so-called industry standards. He's digging deep, looking for the absolute core of the problem, breaking it all the way down to its fundamental truths.
Elias pitches his idea: build a system, use technology, automate the whole thing. But Mr. Linear, he just scoffs. That's risky, he says. We've never done it. You see, he's trapped by the fear of the unknown, the cozy comfort of that familiar, old recipe.
But Elias saw something Mr. Linear just couldn't. He saw the pure, simple beauty of the asymmetric bet. Think about it. On one hand, the risk is tiny. If his prototype fails, what does he lose? A few hours of sleep, maybe a weekend, the downside is capped. But on the other hand, the upside is basically infinite. He could automate the entire department, maybe even license the technology. See, Mr. Linear is terrified of the small, certain loss. Elias is chasing the massive, uncertain gain.
Now, to pull this whole thing off, Elias needs resources. But he knows that just asking for them is a total dead end. So he moves on to the next brilliant phase of his plan: permissionless power.
In the old world, he'd need a budget, a team, he'd need permission. Instead, he uses a modern weapon: code. He can write a program, a set of instructions that a computer can follow automatically. This is his permissionless lever. He builds it once, all by himself, and it works for him 24/7, processing thousands of documents for free. And the best part? No one can tell him to stop.
So, weeks go by. The system is built. And now we get to the moment of truth, the absolute climax of our story. Judgment multiplied.
Remember Mr. Linear's safe, by-the-book approach? Well, the result comes in. It's a meager, pathetic 5% saving.
And Elias' system? Oh, it doesn't just save 5%. It reduces costs by 90%. It's a complete and total blowout.
And get this, that's not even all of it. It didn't just slash the costs. It increased the speed of the entire process by 1,000 times. This wasn't just an improvement, it was a revolution.
So how in the world did this happen? It all comes down to the final, absolutely transformative idea: breaking the equation.
You see, the code Elias built was just a dumb amplifier. Incredibly powerful, sure, but totally useless on its own. The real magic, the spark, came from his judgment, his decision to solve the right problem. And that gives us the new formula. Impact equals the quality of your decision multiplied by the size of your leverage.
By doing this, Elias completely broke out of the linear trap. He totally separated his results from his time. He was no longer paid for hours spent in a chair. He was valued for his judgment and his incredible ability to apply leverage. He stopped being just another linear employee and became what we call a qualitative exponential.
And all of this leaves us with just one final thought for you. Take a look at the world you operate in, at your job, in your own projects, in your life. What is the linear equation that you feel trapped in? And, maybe more importantly, what is the permissionless lever you could build to completely shatter it?